Take the roll.
Calling the roll, Mr. Schrein.
Here.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Ms. Stevens. Ms. Stevens is absent at the moment. Ms. Baker.
Here.
Ms. Simon. We have a quorum.
Okay. Has there anyone signed in for public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed in.
Okay. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the November 19th meeting? Okay. Is there a motion to approve? Then the chair will second. Is there any discussion in regards to the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are now approved. We have one item to come before the committee. If it could be please read it in the record.
Resolution number 2019-0062, authorizing the execution and delivery of a first supplemental bond purchase agreement for $11,955,000, County of Cuyahoga, Ohio, Economic Development Revenue Refunding Bonds, Series 2014.
And I would guess that Mr. Huth is here to speak on behalf of this. So,
Yes, sir, I am. I'm Greg Huth with the Development Department. And also here is Don Messenger with the law firm Thompson Hine. They're serving as bond counsel on this transaction. This item relates to a conduit bond that the county issued in 2014 for the Hearing and Speech Center. Nothing is changing about the bond except for the fact that the bond purchase agreement that was executed back then has a date, an expiration date of April 1 for that purchase agreement. So they need to go back and re-execute the purchase agreement to allow for the fact that the bank is going to continue to hold the bonds, and the borrower and the bank made some negotiations over how the interest rates would be calculated going forward. And just because the county is also a signatory on that agreement, we thought we should bring this in to get approval for the signature. But as is typical with a conduit bond, this doesn't affect the county's credit in any way. The county is not liable in any way on these bonds. That's all on the Hearing and Speech Center. So this doesn't really change any of that. It just is because we're executing this new bond purchase agreement. Or this is a supplement to the bond purchase agreement, rather.
as you know, my typical question in regards to this, what is the county getting any kind of compensation for the administrative time and energy that is taken?
Actually, Mr. Chairman, in the case of this one, we didn't really spend any time on it. We brought in an outside counsel to review all the documents, and the borrower was paying our fees for that outside counsel. So no, we're not going to charge them a fee on this one.
Okay, so you even though we're standing here today and you did some prep work and everything like that, we still, we're not charging any kind of admin fee, even administrative. I still believe that it's appropriate, but obviously if the administration doesn't, because I assume it took time to get through your office to do some review. We've got documents here, we've got preparation. I assume that the beneficiaries are getting a reduced interest rate off of this loan.
I actually don't know, Mr. Chairman, what the arrangement between the bank and the borrower is. It doesn't affect us, so we didn't bother to dig into it.
Okay, well, it just seems to me that they're using our good offices for a purpose, and it's not improper to have at least some kind of administrative fee out there in regards to that. But I'll turn it over to any questions from anybody on the committee? No? Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Simon.
We've never charged a fee?
We have.
We do, right?
Mr. Chairman, the county, in most cases we do, but in this case, as I said, there was very little that we had to do internally on this. We did bring in an outside counsel to review all these docs for us, and the borrower was paying that fee. So we thought that in fairness, we didn't bother to charge an administrative fee on this one.
Okay, well, I guess I still would have thought that $200, $500, whatever your hourly time you would have put in is cost that the county absorbs in that respect. Any other questions? Hearing none.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Sorry, we have a deadline on this one, so I was hoping we could send it back for passage under suspension on second reading.
Okay, all right. Is there any comments from Thompson Hine in regards to this that need to be brought forward, or as long as you came all the way here, you might as well at least get a chance to.
Well, I am from the Cleveland office of Thompson Hine, and I am in spirit of full disclosure, I also am a board member of the Hearing and Speech Center, having been there for many years and past president of the board. So the lawyers who are working on this are from our Cincinnati and Dayton offices, and I tried to keep the costs down for the Hearing and Speech Center, so I am coming just a few blocks away to come here. Two things I'd like to mention. One is the bonds are being extended for 5 years, and that was agreed to by PNC, the holder of the bonds. You asked about the interest rate. The interest rate is fundamentally unchanged. There's some little tweaks due to the tax law, but fundamentally, there's not an interest rate improvement for the hearing and speech center on this. And we very much appreciate the support that the county has provided in this financing over the years. So thank you.
So, but even if the interest rates didn't change, they are flat probably for 5 more years with interest rates going up, that there is a,
Well,
there should be an advantage.
it's an interest rate that's tied to the LIBOR rate.
Oh, it is,
So
okay,
it's a
all right,
flexible rate,
very good, okay.
market rate.
Yep, and I guess LIBOR is gonna go away here pretty soon, and we're gonna be using a different measurement to measure interest rates,
Correct.
I think but pretty soon. And I can only assume the county is getting up to speed on that as far as moving away from LIBOR, as far as rates and things of that nature. And with that, it means having to learn something,
Right.
in addition out there. So with that, yes,
Given this was issued on March 31st, 2014, and it is specifically for the 48,000 square foot headquarters in Cleveland, is that
That's
the
correct.
only thing that this is used for? It's just the one facility in Cleveland on Euclid?
Correct.
And how long do you think we would be, that these bonds will be needed?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember how long the bonds were from back then, so.
The history is that the county did issue a series of a bond issue that was purchased by PNC Bank in
Right.
2008. Then it was refinanced in 2014.
Right.
And the maturity date is 2038.
2038?
And there's a provision that the holder of the bonds is required to tender the bonds back to the Hearing and Speech Center unless it's extended. And it's been a 5-year term from the original, and this is just extending another 5-year term.
Got it. Thank you.
hearing none, the chair will move this for second reading suspension at the next county council meeting. Is that in compliance with what your request is? Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion in regards to the matter? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. It'll be going before the council for second reading suspension at the next meeting, at our next Tuesday meeting.
6th, or 12th.
Yeah,
March 12th.
whatever the next Tuesday meeting, if you got the calendar in your brain, I don't. I just knew I could say next Tuesday
There are a
meeting.
few things that you can remember, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hearing nothing else, is there any miscellaneous business?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hearing none, enjoy the meeting, and please show that my colleague is, all our colleagues are in attendance.
What kind of meeting?
In case our good friends at the Plain Dealer do an interview again.
Last one.